My name is Lisa, and I'm a school teacher. I'm the out and proud parent of Eleanor, who describes themselves as a gender weird lesbian, and Christopher, who is bisexual. My two children are amazing. They are chalk and cheese. They are so unalike in every possible way, and yet somehow they are each the best bits of myself and my husband. Eleanor, my elder, is 21 and is currently training to be a journalist, lives with her girlfriend in Manchester, and is living life to the full. My younger one, Christopher, is 19. He's at college studying textiles and fashion. I thought that there was something a little bit different about Eleanor, pretty much about sort of age 6, 7-ish. That's when they asked, could they not be made to wear a summer dress as part of the school uniform in the summer? Could they just wear trousers instead? Also, as they got slightly older through primary school, they just weren't interested in boys at all. Very much the academic. So maybe they're just interested in studying, or their other hobbies like horse riding and things like that. But when they did come out to us, we weren't surprised. Eleanor came out to us very consciously and very deliberately. They were 14, and I remember it well. Sorry, my husband and I were in the kitchen, and she came bouncing into the kitchen and said, I've got something to show you. And she'd drawn a picture of herself, lovely sort of chibi style drawing of herself holding a flag. And I didn't understand what this flag meant. And she explained to us the colours of the flag were it was the ace flag with a pan-romantic heart in the centre. She said, I'm telling you that I'm pan-rom ace. I was, okay, what does that mean? Because I knew nothing at that point about ace spectrum. And she explained it to us. We were not surprised at all. We'd always, we just knew that they were not into boys. We didn't know what they were into. And I don't think they did know at the time. But no, she's settled. She does use she and they as her pronouns. So for a while, she would describe herself as asexual, but her very closest friend is so much more than a friend. And then, a couple of years ago now, they announced that they were officially a couple. When her younger brother told me he was bi, we were just sitting on the sofa and having a chat, and he just mentioned it. And that was kind of it. It was much more relaxed and low-key, but it's very much sort of in the style of them being them. They came out in their own ways. I think the thing that really struck me at the time, particularly when Eleanor, the elder one, came out, what had struck me is that she'd had to find out what the right words were for her to express who she was. She didn't know anybody. I didn't know what pan-romantic asexual meant, and she had to find out what those words were. Thank goodness for the internet. and thank goodness for being able to safely search and find the right people and right forums to talk to. And I remember at the time I'd felt sad that she'd had to go through working that out for herself. We have since sort of talked about that being a difficult process for her, and I think that's one reason why now I am an out and proud parent of out and proud children, because I don't want any other young person to go through that agony of trying to work out, who am I? What am I? What label is the right thing to describe who I am if they feel that they can't talk to somebody? about it. I think Eleanor always knew that we'd be okay with it, but how that must be for someone who's not confident with how their parents are going to react, that must just be so hard. And that's why I want to do anything I can to make it easier for anybody else in the future. Reaction within the family, within the community, luckily for Eleanor and Christopher, has been positive. Their grandmother actually lives next door to us, and the first time that Eleanor's girlfriend was going to come and stay over, Nana's question simply was, well, am I making up the two separate singles room, or would you like me to make up the double room? And that could not have been more perfect. Eleanor was a little more wary of coming out to my dad. My dad's family is traditionally more conservative. Eventually, we decided that I would tell him that Eleanor had a girlfriend so that I could gauge any reaction. And initially, he was he sort of said, well, yeah, I have to accept this, don't I? Because this is the modern way of being. And I said to him, well, it's not about being modern. Yeah. Gay people have always been here. That there have always been, in every family, people who've, had relationships and perhaps had to keep them secret. And I heard the silence and I heard the thunk of the penny dropping. And then he went, oh, yes. There was a great aunt or distant cousin who did have a lady companion. And I could hear the cogs whirring in his head. He's like, oh, yes. And so I gave him time to sort of think about it. And he's completely cool. He's since met the girlfriend and absolutely loves her to bits just as much as the rest of us. And it's fantastic. Being an out and proud parent, I think, has helped the rest of the family be more comfortable with themselves also being proud parents and not being afraid to speak to other people, such as mentioning that our daughter has a girlfriend and not being afraid to mention that, not shying away and just sort of perhaps alluding to a partner. I think the fact that I'm very open about talking about it helps other people too. And just if I'm comfortable with it, everyone else is going to have to be. I think it's important for proud parents to be visible because that's going to make it easier for future children to be confident with who they are. If they can see that this is just part of everyday life, it's not abnormal or weird or strange, you're just who you are. It shouldn't be a big deal. It's no big deal if a girl announces she's got her first boyfriend. It's no big deal if a boy announces he's got his first girlfriend. Why should it be a big deal any other way? Have this as a normal part of everyday life because it is a normal part of everyday life. I would say my relationship with my children has developed since they came out, in that they can be completely comfortable talking with me about whatever it is they need to talk about. I know my son has had, the issues of, he fancies someone and they don't necessarily fancy him back. And, there's unrequited love things or the love triangle going on. And he's happy to talk to me about it. And it doesn't matter the gender of the person that he's been interested in. And he knows that he can talk to me about that. And I think that's really, really good that they've been able to have that confidence and that comfortability, that comfort in being able to talk to me about it. Because I know plenty of straight kids can't talk to their parents like that. Never mind queer children. What makes me proud about my children? Everything. I love my kids to bits. Everything they do, whether it's their academic achievements, hobby achievements, overcoming obstacles at college or at university, everything they do makes me proud. I can't not be proud of them, overcoming hurdles and obstacles along the way, be they academic or personal or otherwise. I'm proud of everything my kids do, and I tell them so. I find it difficult to comprehend how some parents find it not just difficult, but almost impossible to accept their children, because your children are your children. You made them, you raised them. They are who they are. They are part of you. And how could you not accept them and love them and cherish them and be proud of what they've achieved? And I think that has actually been a thing that has surprised me as a proud parent, when I've had people from within the LGBTQ plus community tell me that I'm somehow special and amazing because I'm a proud parent. And I'm just like, surely every parent should be like this. And yeah, I know that many parents aren't, far too many parents aren't. And I actually find that hard to accept. I find that harder to accept than I could have found not accepting who my kids are. How can a parent not love their own children? That's actually something that I find difficult. If you're a parent who's struggling to understand your child, your offspring, your adult, I just say talk to them and listen to them. Please listen to what they're telling you. They are your child. You raised them. They are the product of you and the upbringing that you have given them. And they are who they are. They are their own unique person. So please listen to what they're saying, hear how they are feeling, and please just love them for who they are, because you can't change them. They are who they are. You cannot change them. But please listen to what they are telling you and then try to understand what they are telling you. If you're an LGBTQI plus person watching this now, and if you're struggling with your family, all I can say is know that out there, you are loved. You are loved. I know that you don't know me, but if we could meet, I would tell you that I love you. And someone out there does love you. Your family and your parents, if they're finding this difficult at the moment, it may take them some time to accept that who you are, but you are you, and you are loved. Trust me, truly, you are loved. To Eleanor and Christopher, God, I love you two to bits. I really, really do. I have been proud of you both from day one. Every little achievement you have ever made, every obstacle you have overcome, you know that I have been there to celebrate it with you and help you along the way. And boy, have we had some fun. To parents and to families who are transitioning from thinking that your children were straight to discovering that they're not, there are often local groups that you can get in touch with, or international groups that you can get in touch with, who can help you to share experiences or perhaps offer advice. There are charities, websites online, groups on social media. So if you need to reach out to people and find people who can help you along the way, you're not on your own. You can go and find out more from all sorts of different sites, all sorts of different support networks. You're not on your own. Whichever side of this you're on, you're not alone. You can find out more, and there's plenty of support out there. Out and Proud Parents' Day, 30th of July.